Welcome back to Riffs and Rasslin, where we talk about all things heavy metal and pro wrestling. I am Willie, and we're also joined by my brother Nick. What's up, man?
Yo, what's good, dude?
Oh, back at it. We're here with part three of our Megadeth series. Yes, we're going through every decade of Megadeth. If you missed part one, the 80s, and if you missed part two, the 90s, please be sure to go back and watch those before you watch this episode because we're going to talk all things 2000s Megadeth. But yeah, man, are you excited? I'm excited.
I am, dude. The 80s were fun. The 90s were fun. Now we're into the 2000s. I think we unanimously agreed that the 90s was our favorite decade of Megadeth. The 2000s are definitely interesting, to say the least. There's a lot of
Yeah.
tribulations and turmoil that happens within the band, and kicking it off here with World Needs a Hero album is going to be pretty interesting to see how the journey takes us in Megadeth in the 2000s.
Yeah, I know. If coming right off of Risk, that album was a bit different. You could say about Megadeth, and coming into the 2000s here in the first record of 2001, kind of went back to a little bit of an old school style sounding Megadeth. What do you think?
Kind of, sort of. I felt like this album was really um, slow paced.
Yeah,
Some of the songs had like a bit of a crunch to them. Don't get me wrong, had a little bit of a riffage to them that was old school Megadeth, but it was a really slower album by comparison to say like something off of Rust in Peace or Peace Cells. It was kind of a slower tempo album. Still some pretty good songs on here. Obviously, there was some misses on this record, but all in all, it was a different record. 'Cause as you said, coming off of Risk into this album, I actually think that this album was a risk to take too, and we'll get into why.
yeah, I agree. And, just touching on coming after Risk, this was the first album that had Vic on the cover for a while now. What do you think kind of led Megadeth and Mustaine to bring back Vic?
I think it was after what we talked about. And again, folks, if you haven't watched our episode on the 90s, we talked about the last album they put out in the 1990s, Risk. We talked about how rumor has it that Lars, the drummer of Metallica, said that Megadeth doesn't put enough risk into their music. They don't take enough risks. So Mustaine pretty much said, well, fuck that. Here's a risky album. Um, I think that this was more of a message by Mustaine back to the community and to the fans of saying, we're here. We took a bit of a risk on the album, sure, but we're here, we're back. We got the classic Megadeth logo on the album cover. Vic is back since the first time since Rust in Peace. So, I mean, I think it's just a sign of him saying, like, look, we're here, take us seriously, and we're back, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a new decade, so definitely had to shake things up, and they had a new lineup for this album as well. Freeman is gone.
Friedman is gone. This is the only album to feature Al Petrelli on guitar too. If memory serves correct, if I'm not mistaken, Petrelli came from Alice Cooper's band, and I
Okay.
know that he had done some other work with some other bands as well.
Yeah.
But I think he directly came off of Cooper's band to come over and do this album with Megadeth. Petrelli's a good guitarist. I don't think he fit the Megadeth style at all,
No, not at all.
as evident by this album here. But
Yeah.
this is the second to last album, I believe it is, to feature Jimmy DeGrasso on drums too. He didn't fit the Megadeth mold either.
Yeah.
Again, we talked about the classic Megadeth lineup with Nick Menza, Marty Friedman, Dave Ellefson, and Dave Mustaine, and that foursome can't be beat, in my opinion, as far as the Megadeth lineup goes. And speaking of Ellefson, this is his last album until he comes back to, what is it, 13? The album 13
Yeah.
is when he comes back.
Yeah. It's it was a whole 10 years, I believe he kind of came back. It's a
That's
long time.
insane. Yeah, it isn't. That's a long time. That's insane, bro. And now here he is, gone again from the band.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, this is May 15th, 2001. The world needs a hero from Megadeth and coming right after Risk. Let's go into it, man. Track number one, Disconnect. What's your thoughts?
Um, Again, when I was starting off at the beginning by saying that it was like a slower tempo Megadeth album, this really set the tone for how the album was going to go, in my opinion. It had a good riff to it. It had a memorable riff, if so to speak, but it was definitely a half step slower than we would normally hear from Megadeth, especially like
Yeah.
on a thrashy type riff. But I remember fondly going and getting this album from Kmart, dude. When it first came out, I was literally there buying this album from Kmart, and I would play this constantly. You know, as I kind of mentioned before in past episodes, Megadeth found me at the right place in my life and going through a lot of crap. I was still going through a lot of crap when this album came out. We were bouncing around from place to place, and I had this album on constantly, whether it was on my Discman, if people can remember that, as old as I am, or whether it was in the car radio. I was playing this record quite a bit, so this record does stand out to me a lot. But Disconnect, it was okay, it was good. I could have expected a little bit something more, as we touched on in previous Megadeth episodes. You got a strong opener and a strong closer. I
Mhm.
don't know if this is a strong opener, but it's decent.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. This record is a bit slower and has some longer songs on it. That's for sure. And I think compared to all the other songs, you could probably pick one or two that could probably be a better opener. But I didn't mind this as an opener. I thought the main riff was a pretty catchy riff. It wasn't boring to me. It was different because it was a bit of a slower Megadeth song. But overall, I think this was a decent song.
I mean, yeah, you couldn't go like you. There's obviously other songs on this record that if you were to open the record with, you'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Um, but there's also some songs on here that you could have really opened this up with and be like, "Oh, okay, now we're in for something here." You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I mean,
Yep.
overall, it's a 50-50 song. I could take it, I could leave it.
Yep, yep, I agree. Track number two, man, the title track, "The World Needs a Hero." I thought this was a pretty sweet song. I dug this one.
Yeah, I dug this one too. I think a title track to an album is very important because it's telling the story of what your album is. You know, it's obviously why you titled the album what you did, so it obviously means something to you. So
Right,
you would expect something strong. Um, Good track. I wouldn't mind if this was the opening song. You know what I
I
mean,
agree.
to the record.
Yeah,
But all in all, it was not a bad song whatsoever.
no, I think the chorus is pretty catchy. Easy to listen to, easy to hum to, and it was right at the sweet spot at 3 minutes and 52 seconds. I think any longer it would have went way too long.
Yep.
Yeah, not a bad song at all.
No, could have had
Number,
worse. That's for sure.
yeah, well, we're gonna get to some of those. Number three, Moto Psycho. Do you like the song?
So this, in my humble opinion, this song is probably like the first catchy radio song that Megadeth has ever put out on purpose.
Hmm.
Um, Very one dimensional, very radio friendly. I think this was maybe the record company's attempt, if not his attempt, to kind of get more mainstream radio play, because they still to this day Megadeth is shunned on regular radio play. I mean, you hear Metallica constantly, but you don't ever hear Megadeth, and if you do, it's like the same two or three songs that they always play. I think this was an attempt to get on radio. This was an attempt to get more mainstream eyeballs on the band. I personally don't mind this song. Will I go out of my way to listen to it? No. But if it's on, will I change it? Probably not.
Yeah.
It's a fun song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's catchy. It's groovy. It's what it was meant to be.
Right. Yeah. I don't know, man. To me, this just reminds me of another fucking Crush 'em.
I can see
Not
that.
not a fan. It's too catchy for me. It doesn't feel like Megadeth at all for me. Yeah, this is a very skippable song for me. Sure, there's probably a lot worse songs that Megadeth has put out, maybe, but yeah, this one for me, I didn't care for at all.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. And I understand the comparison too to Crush 'Em. Maybe I can go back on what I said. Maybe Crush 'Em was the first radio song that they tried to really put out to the mainstream
Yeah,
audience, and they had success with Crush 'Em. You know,
they
it was
did.
featured heavily on MTV. It was featured in Universal Soldier soundtrack. They played it on WCW Monday Nitro Live. It was Goldberg's theme in WCW for the longest time. So they found mainstream success with that song. I think they tried to like duplicate it with this song, but I don't think it had the lasting effect that Crush 'Em did for sure.
No, not at all. Yeah. How about number four, man? Track number four, 1,000 times goodbye. I thought this was now I thought this was a long fucking song.
Yes.
For one, I thought they had some catchy riffs, some catchy chorus. But in general, I thought it was just a bit too long for me.
It is a long song. I don't mind this song either. I think it's a catchy chorus lyrically. The way Mustaine always has a good way of putting together words to music,
Yeah.
and making something that sounds so innocent as like I'll put pennies on your eyes, like kiss your lips 1,000 times goodbye.
Right.
It's like something like so dark but makes sense in the way he's using it and the style that he's using it within the song.
Yep.
I don't mind the song whatsoever. Do I want to hear it live? No, but is it a skippable song depending on my mood? But
Yeah.
it's not a bad song, and at number 4, I think it's a good position for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a very the only thing I would do the only reason why I would skip the song is because of the length.
Yeah,
Um I wouldn't skip it if it was half of the length. I think I would probably listen to it more if it wasn't so long.
I agreed. And again, we're on track 4 of this album, and I'm not hearing anything thrashy. I'm not hearing
Nope.
anything that would remind me of that I'm listening to Megadeth. It's like,
Yep.
to me, the last album, Risk, the first few songs of that album were heavier and faster than the shit we're hearing so far in this one.
Yeah, I mean I can't disagree with you on that one.
And the album cover to this too was very explicit at the time that it came out too, with Vic
Yeah,
popping out of Dave's chest. They actually
right.
put a censor over the album and had just Vic's head and with Megadeth logo above it, but the full on album had
Yep.
Vic popping out of his chest, and you would think, like, looking at the cover, like, fuck yeah, dude, it's Megadeth, bro. They're back to thrashing and kicking
I
ass.
know, right?
And then hit your 4 songs in, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you're like, should I continue or not?
Right, exactly.
But let's continue ourselves. Track number 5, Burning Bridges. I fucking love this song.
See, I'm kind of in a disagreement with you on this one.
Really?
It's an okay song, but
Okay.
um I don't know, man. Maybe because like the way that the album has been paced so far, we get into Burning
Yeah.
Bridges, and it's like the chorus is just weird to me.
Yeah, I can see that. It was a very I think I needed this song after the first four because it was a bit faster for
It
me.
was faster, I will give you that.
And it was just what I needed. I was like, damn, hell yeah, let's go. And then
Right.
I don't know, something clicked for me, man. I fucking dig it.
It's not a bad song. It's not a great song. Kind of like what we've been saying so far about this entire album. But
Yeah.
I can see where you're coming from. That this is almost like a pick me up after hearing what we heard so far.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. I mean, I think right there in the middle. I guess that's a good point for this song. But then you go into track 6, Promises, which was a very slow start again.
Yep. It's like you pick us up with Burning Bridges and you drop us back down with Promises.
Yeah.
And here's the thing with Promises, I don't mind the song. And like I've said with Metallica, if their songs that they put out on Load and Reload didn't have the Metallica name associated with that album, those were great fucking songs.
Yeah.
Same thing goes for Promises, dude. Is it a great song? No, but it's a really good song. And if it didn't have the Megadeth name over it, I think it would be more of a hit than what it was.
Yeah.
It's definitely different, a lot different from stuff that we've heard prior Megadeth do. Um, Again, it just goes to show you what this album is all about. Like you're expecting something, but you're getting something totally different. And I think this
Yep.
is like a case in point of how different this shit is right now.
Yeah, and what I'm reading here, this was the only song on the album that Al Pitrelli co-wrote with Mustaine.
Which is probably why he only lasted one album.
Yep. Yep. This is the only song on the
And you
entire
see it
record.
again going back to Al Pitrelli. He had more of like a hair metal, classic rock style to him. The way he played, the bands that he played with prior. I could see
Yeah.
this song being a song for like Cinderella, fucking,
Mm,
uh, Rat, somebody like that. You know what I mean?
yep.
Not a thrash metal band. You know what I mean? So it makes
Yeah.
sense that Pitrelli had more influence in this song than say some of the other band members did. I could see that because again, this should have been like a Cinderella song.
Yep. Yep. I mean, that's a strong opinion, and it's not wrong at all. Moved on to track 7, Recipe for Hate, Warhorse. What do you think about this one?
Fucking love this song. This song is probably one
Absolutely.
of the better ones on the fucking record. This song, it starts out kind of like reminiscent of Metallica's One, where it has like this slow build. And then when you get to the middle of the song, boom, that fucking riff comes in, dude. And
Yep.
the fucking drums kick in. And it's like, I'm ready to fucking go. Like, this is what I was expecting Megadeth to sound like on this record was this song right here. And I think this is the first time that we really had a sense of
Right.
true Megadeth on this record was this song.
Yeah, and I think this track number 7 and everything after it, I think everything before this song, I think you could. get away with.
Yes.
I think as the album as a whole, this is when the album took a bit of a turn, and you're
Yep.
like, why do we have to wait 6 songs to get to here?
I was just gonna say I think it was too little, too late that we finally
Yep.
had the flip turn, the switch flipped on this album. It was too little, too late. We're
Yep.
more than halfway through, and now we finally have a song that reminds us of Megadeth. And yeah, I don't know, man. I think you could have done that like way earlier on in the record.
Yep. Yep. I agree. I mean, and this is another over 5 minute song, and this is probably the only song on the record where it was a bit longer, but then it felt long because it was fun to listen to.
Yep, I would 100% agree with that. 100% agree. It's
Yep.
almost like the song kicks in, you're like, okay, this is a little bit different. Then the middle of the song kicks in, like, okay, yeah, now we're getting into
Yep.
something. You know what I mean? And then before you know it, the song's over. And that to me is a good song, man. It's when you don't look at the time of how long the damn song's been going for. It's like, oh
Yep.
shit, it's over? Well,
I
damn, that was
know.
a good song.
Yep. Yep. And like you said, it was a bit too late, man. Six
Yeah,
songs later or
yeah,
7 songs later. This is where you put it. So
yeah. That was a mistake. I don't know if that was Mustaine's
yeah.
call, the record company's call, but it was too little, too late.
Yep. Yep. I mean, you had this banger track 7, right? And then moving on to track 8, Losing My Senses. This was a fun fucking song too.
It's a fun song, but again, you kind of did it with Burning Bridges, kind of a
Mm-hmm.
mid-tempo song, and then you bring us
Yep.
down with Promises. Same
Yep.
shit here. You had Recipe for Hate, Warhorse, and then Losing My Senses. Like, what the
Yep.
fuck? So you want us to go for a
I
high and then
know.
immediately drop down to a fucking heroin coma? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like this album teased you the entire fucking time, and not the fucking good kind. It was fucking hard. It's like I don't want to go up and down when I listen to something. I don't because I'm gonna get bored. I'm gonna turn it off.
Yep. It's either have one style record, but like you can like vary off here or there, but have it make cohesive sense within the record. This
Yep.
was up, down, all around, and
Yep.
I don't know, dude. It's just kind of weird. But losing my
Yeah.
senses is one of those songs where it's just like it kind of took me out because like I was
Yeah.
pumped. Now I'm back out of it again. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to like feel for this record?
Yeah. I mean, I think this song it's not a bad song. It's not. I think you probably could have had it maybe track 3 or 4, and it would have
Yes.
fit way better than right after fucking Recipe for Hate.
Yep. Agreed.
But yeah, moving on. Track 9, Dread and the Fugitive Mind. What a banger this song
Yeah,
is.
this is a fun song. It's still a song that they perform live every once in a while. And I would be wrong to not mention the song Kill the King from Megadeth as well. It was recorded around the same time period that this album was put out. It was not put on this record. It was put on a compilation record. I believe it was Capital Punishment that the song first came out on. But Kill the King and Dread and the Fugitive Mind, I go with those two songs because those two songs were put on the compilation record that they put on after this album came out, and it was one of the first two fresh songs that Megadeth started throwing into the rotation around the same time period. And I think that you could take out half of these fucking songs on this record, insert "Kill the King," and it would have been 10 times better than the shit we've been hearing so far. And
Yep.
I think like "Kill the King" and "Dread and the Fugitive Mind" go hand in hand, back to back. That they're both banger fucking tracks, dude. They both set a tone, set a mood. They're both fun to hear live. I'm sure they're both fun to play. I know they're both fun to sing to.
Yep.
So yeah, Dread and the Fugitive Mind, dude, is another banger track that kind of gets lost in the shuffle in this album.
Yeah. I mean, you said it perfectly. I mean, you had Kill the King and then this song, and if you had them back to back, I think the fucking album would have sold way more.
If you would have
Way
done
more, dude.
track one with Kill the King and track two with Dread and the Fugitive Mind, I think it would have
Yep.
been a whole different fucking album
Yep.
experience.
It would have been. And I guess that's the reason why they still play it live, huh?
Yep, absolutely. More than some of the other songs on this record.
Oh yeah. Track 10, short instrumental song, Silent Scorn. Trumpet in there was different. Trumpet
Yep.
in the song is different.
They play that song at the end of all their shows too,
Yep.
as they're leaving the
I
stage.
think it's a great atmospheric song, right? It's a great send off song. And in this case, into this album, it's a great lead in song to track number 11, Return to Hangar.
Dude, I'm so glad that you mentioned that because I was going to say the same fucking thing that it's a great instrumental piece to lead you into Return to Hangar. I fucking love this song. Return to Hangar
Yep.
is probably my favorite song on this record. Is reminiscent of the original Hangar 18, but still different in its own way.
Yep.
And in my opinion, maybe a little bit more thrashy.
Yep.
of a fucking song. It's faster. It's a faster track than the original Hanger 18, and it's just what you needed, man. It's a return to Hanger. It's a return to kicking my ass, and I fucking love this song. And this song is so fun to sing too, bro. I'm
Yep.
telling you.
This song I think has only a total of like 3 or 4 verses, and that's it. And
Yep.
then the remaining 2 minutes of the song is all solos, man.
Dude,
It
and
is
the, the
fucking
the
straight
whole
in your
ending
face.
piece to the song is fucking amazing too. When you got the fucking the of the guitar, and then
Yep.
it's like, dude, it takes you back to the original Hangar 18 while
Yep.
still having an essence of a brand new song, and it's so fucking good, dude. Like it, and it leaves you wanting more. Like you, this is a track that you could press fucking repeat on multiple times.
Yeah, I think this is definitely a song that Mustaine probably had held on to for a while.
Yep.
This song does not fit this album.
No.
I guess the sound wise it fits the album of how everything sounded, but the song itself did not fit this album. I think this song could have been either late or earlier in the 90s, or maybe even held off a little bit longer into more of the 2000 sounds that they have.
This could have been. I could see this track being like Euthanasia
Hmm.
album. You know what I mean? Because of the heavy bass and like down-tuned guitars that Euthanasia was. I could see
Right.
this song on there as well. Um, but I wouldn't be reminisced if I didn't say that this kind of reminds me of when Metallica put out Unforgiven and they put out Unforgiven 2.
Yep.
This is almost like maybe his response to like, well, we had Hangar 18. Well, how about we return to Hangar?
Exactly. Yeah.
So I don't have a
Beautiful.
problem with the song at all.
Nope. Nope. I think this song is for me as well the best song on the album.
Yep, agreed.
Yep. Then we go on to track number 12, the last song on the album, titled Win, and it is coming in at a total of 9 minutes and 14 seconds. So this is their longest song to date, isn't it?
Yep, this is their longest song that they've put out so far, and I have no problem with this song either. I actually love this fucking song. I wish this song was played live. It has a great opening leading into the middle of the song, leading into the end of the song. It starts off slower, but then it fucking builds pace, and then it builds up to the end, and it fucking hits you in the ass at the end.
Yeah.
I like this song a lot, and I like the riffs that Mustaine came up with on this song as well.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the songs I had to go back and listen to, probably because of the length of the song. I'm no stranger to bands with long songs, right? Because I listen to a lot of folk metal, and a lot of their songs are like fucking 12, 15 minutes long. So it's not
Right.
because of the length of the song, it's because it's Megadeth, and it's just a little bit strange for Megadeth to put out such a long song. And I think
Hmm.
that's kind of what threw me off of not going back so many times to listen to the song, was just because of the length of it. But this is definitely one that I had to go back and listen to, and I might still go back and listen to because I don't even think I finished the song
It's good,
again.
man. If you haven't listened to the song in a while, or if you've never heard the song before, period, definitely one to go out of your way and check out, because I think it's a really good pace of a song to where it starts out kind of slowish, builds its way up, and then at the end of it, it just all comes together in a big crescendo. And I fucking love this song.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, thinking about it now, right? This is probably a great way to end a album. It's a long song to end an album, though. I don't know if this is what you want to end an album, but I think it worked for this one.
I mean, Metallica kind of did that too back in the day. They kind of put out some of their longer songs as their ending songs. But as long as the fucking song is a banger and it keeps you moving and it keeps you like wanting more from it, progression wise, I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, man, I think this, like we said already, this album was definitely a tease from track to track. There was a couple songs that were notable, and some other songs that just were not very well done.
I think this album as a whole is a letdown, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I remember going back to listening to it when it first came out, and I had it on repeat a couple of times, just trying to get familiar with the songs, listening to them more than once. And I kind of had a hard time getting into it, and staying into the album.
yeah.
I found myself skipping a lot more than I had on previous Megadeth records.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think that this album as a whole is a big letdown, especially with the album
Yeah,
cover.
yeah, yeah. This is definitely an album that I don't go back and frequent very often. Um,
Same.
Probably like one or two songs that I do listen to all the time, like "Kill the King" and a couple others, but not very often.
So we agreed that "Return to Hangar" is our probably our favorite song on the record. What's your least favorite? I'm gonna
Yes.
see if we have an agreement with this one.
Oh man, my least favorite on this record, I would probably say, fuck man, Motorcycle for me.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, Promises is pretty fucking close. Um, but I think Motorcycle is just a bit more annoying for me.
I think you're gonna like hate me for this one, but "Losing My Senses" is probably my least favorite on this
Okay.
album. Only
Okay.
because like again, you got us hyped up after Recipe, and then
Yeah,
you bring us down with this. It's like fuck me, man. And like
that
it's
makes
such a
sense.
fucking slow song too to like get grooving with, especially after
Yeah,
Recipe. You know, it's like
right.
fuck this song.
Yeah, I think the placement of the song definitely fucking tore it
Doesn't do you
down.
any favors.
No, it did not. It did not. But yeah, let's move on, man. Right after this album, in January of 2002, Mustaine was hospitalized for the removal of a kidney stone. And while he was out of that, he was also administered pain medication that triggered a relapse of his drug addiction.
Yeah.
Following his stay, Mustaine checked himself into a treatment center in Texas, where Mustaine fell asleep with his left arm over the back of a chair, causing compressions of the radial nerve, which end up his left, which left him unable to grasp or make a fist with his left hand. How fucked up that must have felt, huh?
Dude, I remember hearing of that, dude, and like Megadeth was gonna be like broken up at this time too, and I was fucking heartbroken because obviously we've stated previous episodes that Megadeth is our favorite band,
Yep.
and I was fucking devastated when I heard this news, dude. I'm like, there's no fucking way that Megadeth is done, dude. Like, because he fell asleep on his fucking arm, Megadeth is no more. Like, I was crushed, dude.
Yep. Shit, man. And then for the next 4 months, he had physical therapy 5 days a week, and slowly began to reteach his left hand. So this guy had to not only fill his hand again, he had to reteach his entire hand to do everything over again.
And leave it to Mustaine to being the fucking guitar wizard that he is, man, to fucking get his
Yep.
hand back in performance, fucking top peak performance and able to fucking play again, dude. Like, kudos, man.
Crazy, crazy, and all that work he did. Mustaine began work on his first solo album after all of that, and which led us to September 14th, 2004, with The System Has Failed, a comeback album. What's your overall thoughts on this album, man?
Before we get into track by track, I think it's actually a better album than World Needs a Hero was. Not by much, I will say, but it was a better record. Um, there's definitely some good songs on here. There's also some ones that are like, yeah, maybe, maybe not on this record. But
Yeah.
overall, I think it's a step up from World Needs a Hero.
Yeah, I mean, I actually love this album. Majority of the songs on this album I do go back and listen to from time to time. This is definitely probably one of my favorite Megadeth albums, actually. I think the riffs on this album were pretty spot on, especially after Mustaine coming back from his whole deal in 2002, come back with his comeback album, and I think he nailed a comeback album. And I think it was the perfect song for the time in 2004 that really made Megadeth back on the map.
The only issue that I have with this album is that it was pretty much a Mustaine solo record.
Yeah.
None of the original members from any band except for Chris Poland, who played guitar with them on the first two records,
Yep.
was here with him, um, which is fine and all, but it was pretty much just Mustaine and a bunch of studio session musicians.
Right.
So that kind of like took away from it a little bit. But I mean, it was a return to form from Mustaine, back to that
Hmm.
thrashy element, back to the fuck you, I don't give a fuck attitude.
Yep.
The songwriting, the lyrics, all of it, dude, was like back to the fucking what we know Megadeth to be. And that's
Right.
why it says it's a step up from World Needs a Hero. It's just the only drawback that it would have is that he's the only fucking guy that's really
It's
left in the
just
band
him.
that plays
Yep.
like all tracks from track to track.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I mean, starting off with track number one, Blackmail the Universe. I think it was a strong, strong song to start off the album. I think the intro with the drums and then that opening riff just really made this album feel like, oh shit, make this back.
Dude, what a fucking difference between Disconnect from the opener from Morley's a Hero to this Black Metal Universe. This is so fucking fun, dude. As soon as the song kicks in, you're like, Megadeth's back.
Yep.
Megadeth's back, but it's not Megadeth, it's Mustaine. Mustaine's
Yep.
back, you know.
Yep.
But great fucking song to kick off the record with. I really dug the shit out of this song, dude. And it takes me back to when I first heard this record. My wife and I had just recently like really met and we moved in together for the first time in Phoenix, Arizona. This album came out, and I remember playing "Die Dead Enough" for her. It was a radio single, and we're listening to it on the U-Haul on the way into Phoenix to move into our first apartment together. This album comes out. She gets a job working at Tower Records and later Zia Records, and she's got the album cover, this big poster, like was stuck up on her fucking wall at our entrance to our apartment. And so this was like really the first Megadeth album that the wife and I really like got into together as it came out. So it has a special meaning to me in that way. But definitely, do Black Metal Universe fucking gives you that strong gut punch. Like, we're back, motherfucker, finally.
Absolutely. And I think let's talk about Mustaine's vocals. I think the whole album his vocals were pretty on point, but I think this song in particular, especially the chorus, I don't know what he was doing, but his vocals were like, in my opinion, one of the best vocals he's ever put out on this album.
Yeah, I agree. It was definitely it had more aggression to it. You know what I mean? It had more
Yeah,
balls, it had more range. It was like old school Mustaine where he was
it
pissed
was.
off and had a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, it was more of, it wasn't so much talking on this album. It took me back to Countdown. It was a
Yes.
very high pitched Mustaine, and it was a very well thought out um, structure of his vocals on each song that is on this fucking record. It was it
Yep.
was a it was a breeze to listen to this after listening to like Risk and um yeah, Risk. But yeah, I dug him. I dug it a lot.
Yep, absolutely great fucking opening song.
And then, like you touched on already, track number 2, "Die Dead Enough," which is just a fucking banger, dude. It was, I mean, right after Blackmail and this song, I think it was like, shit, dude, are we gonna stop? Because this song fucking rolled ass too.
So this was the first single that they put out. This was the first video that they put out. It was the first radio single that they put out from this record, right? And going back to the last couple of records, you had Crush 'em from Risk, that was the first one. You had Motorcycle from World Needs a Hero, and then you had this song as their
Yep,
first radio singles that they put out. I think out of all three of those songs, this one is the most memorable because of the way the song is structured, the way it's put together, the way it's performed, Mustaine's vocals, and the video itself is just like, the lyrics that he's saying in this song is like, I just can't stay dead enough. You know what I mean? I
yep,
can't fucking die dead enough. You know what I mean?
yep,
So it's like people want him to go away. People want him to fuck off, but he's like, fuck you. I'm still here. I'm going to do my shit, whether you like it or not. Kiss my ass. And
yep,
again, I think this was a record where Mustaine had a chip on his shoulder and we had that old pissed off Mustaine again.
yep. And I couldn't have said it better. And that kind of leads us to track number 3, which I think is the heaviest song on this fucking album, is "Kick the Chair." This
Kick the
song
chair to you.
fucking kicks everyone's ass. That's what it did.
Yeah, kicks your ass out of the chair. It's a
Yeah,
great fucking song, dude. It's
it's
another
a
one with a
thrashy
punch.
song, bro.
It is. It is. It gets you up and moving, dude. And fucking any one of these songs, these first three songs, can be performed live today and still hold up today.
Yeah, what a strong opening to this album, 1 and 2 and 3.
I
And
can't think of a Megadeth record that had a 1, 2, 3 that was as strong bangers like that, like boom, boom, boom.
no, he came out swinging, dude. He's like, I'm not fucking hurt. You're fucking hurt. And he came out with this fucking album, you know?
Exactly. And it's like, you want me to go away? Well, fuck you. Here I am. I'm still
Nope.
here, and I'm going to be
Yep.
a thorn in your fucking side.
Kick the chair, bitch. Here we go.
And I saw them perform this album too, live, 2005 ish. I want to say probably it was the
Yeah.
first tour they did. Exodus opened up for Megadeth on that tour. First time seeing Megadeth and Exodus, as a matter of fact. And I was just fucking blown away, dude, by the amount of energy and how badass the show was, dude. It was in the tour of this record, and
Yep.
Kick the Chair, bro, was a fucking killer fucking song, dude. I wish that they would still play these songs today.
They need to play, especially that one. I mean, talk about a fucking song to play live. That's the song that you have to play live.
Agreed.
So, track number 4, "The Scorpion." I think this song is a very singable song.
Yes.
Very, very, very fun to sing. And I think it's a good placement, number 4, because it starts off a bit slower. It kind of eases into this fucking song, but when it gets going, and it's a fun fucking song.
It's got a good riff to it. It's a very poppy, catchy song, as you were
Yep.
alluding to. I think, as a matter of fact, I think this might be my wife's favorite song on this album.
Yeah.
Um, my thing is the riffs are fun to listen to, but I think what makes this song memorable is the backing vocals behind Dave Mustaine's vocals. And
Hmm.
I don't think this song would be as powerful if you didn't have those backing vocals on this song.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I've really thought about that until now. But yeah, it makes sense. A very poppy song. Probably the most poppy song on this fucking album, actually. And this is actually the longest song on the album too. Just 1 second under 6 minutes.
It's like in the chorus, he's like, as I climb onto your back and I shoot my venom in. If you hear that song and if you listen to the backing vocals with Mustaine, it makes
Hmm.
the song flow. And I think if you took that backing vocal away and if it was just Mustaine, I don't think it would have as a significant as punch as it did with the backing vocal.
Makes complete sense. Yeah, moving on to track number 5, "Tears in a Vial." Again, another slower one. I didn't mind this song. I thought it was a pretty groovy song.
Yeah, it was okay. Um, from what we've been so far in this album to this one, I could take it or leave it. With this one, it was
Yeah.
okay, but that's really all the opinion that I have on it.
Moving on to track 6 is just a 40-second, pretty much interlude. Pretty cool interlude. He still plays this live, doesn't he? Is this another one that he plays live? Like it's like a interlude for something else.
I don't know if he does or not, to be honest
No?
with you. I could be wrong, but I can't remember
Yeah,
him
I don't.
playing it in any capacity.
Well, either way, it leads into another badass song, track number 7, "Back in the Day." Probably the other more thrashy song on the album.
Lyrically, if you folks would go back and listen to Victory from Euthanasia and then go and listen to this song lyrically, it's again Mustaine telling you a fucking story of himself, the band, thrash, metal, all of it in general. And like, it's just like, you don't understand if you don't understand. You know what
Right.
I mean? Victory from Euthanasia was like all the fucking, the way he utilized some of the song titles into that song into the lyrics was like, telling the story of Megadeth. And this song back in the day was, if you weren't there back in the day, you didn't understand. You know what I mean? You didn't understand how all this shit started, how all this shit formed. And if you're not a fan from back in the day, then you're not a fan now, and you'll never fucking understand it. You'll never get it. Highly, highly,
Yep.
highly underrated song. Nobody ever talks about this song. Musically, the song kicks ass. Lyrically, the song kicks ass. I think it's a very hidden gem from Megadeth that no one ever talks about.
Yeah, I don't know why, dude. I think this song, you could put this song on any Megadeth album too, and it will still be a fucking banger.
If I
This
could
is
like pick one song out of like a fucking like random ass hat for him to play, this might be one of them.
Yes, I completely agree, and it's just perfect at a minute and 27 seconds. It gets in and gets out and does his fucking job, and you're like, I'm gonna have to play that again because that song fucking was sick.
And what's interesting too is it's almost like two different songs put into one. It starts out different, and then
Yep.
when it gets halfway through till the end, it's like it's a whole, and
Yeah.
it's like it's a whole different fucking song, but it makes sense, dude. And only
Right.
Mustaine could be somebody to do something like that.
Yes, yes, and we kind of touched on it in the beginning where we said all these songs were just, Dave, right? There's no Megadeth. But if you go back and listen to Megadeth, a lot of Megadeth is just Dave in a way, and I think this song really demonstrates just how much influence Dave Mustaine himself puts on the whole Megadeth brand.
Oh yeah, I mean, if Mustaine was a step away, Megadeth would be no more.
Yeah.
There's not very many bands that you could say that for that were big, strong bands that swapped out a member here or there, or even swapped out a singer. Look at Iron Maiden.
Yep.
Uh, Dickinson is like their most like obviously known vocalist, but before him and after him there was vocalists. But like once you take him away from Maiden, it's just not Maiden anymore, and people just don't care. Same thing that goes for Megadeth. If you were to take Mustaine out of Megadeth, there is no more Megadeth. Mustaine is Megadeth.
Yep. Yep. And this song definitely showed you that. Moving on to track number 8, "Something That I'm Not." I think I enjoy this song a lot, and I don't know if track number 8 would have been the best placement for this song, but I don't mind the song.
I love this song. This is
Yeah.
another fuck you song from Mustaine.
It,
It's like, something that you are, something that I'm not. It's like,
yep,
is this him, in a roundabout way, shoving it back into Hetfield's face? You know what I mean? Like,
yep,
or are we supposed to believe there's something else behind this song? I don't
right.
know, but it's another fucking badass song that's punchy as shit. And if you were to take out like Tears in a Vial and I Know Jack and just
Hmm.
have these two songs like right after each other, it's like it's a
Right.
banger fucking record, dude.
Yeah. I mean, looking at this song and the song before it, and probably the first fucking three songs, it's kind of like his hate album is like,
Yeah.
y'all kept hating me, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
put out this album and show you that something that I'm not, right? Like, this is my shit. Don't fuck around.
Well, I don't know if you remember, dude, but when we were just talking about how you were doing the beginning of this, and you were talking about how Mustaine hurt his arm, and it was a fear that he would never play guitar again, and Megadeth might be breaking up. There was a lot of sick fucking people out there that were rejoicing this. Like, finally, fucking Mustaine is gone. Finally, Megadeth is gone. People were just shitting all over him. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, are you guys fucking stupid? You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like, thankfully, he got kicked out of Metallica because we wouldn't have this fucking masterpiece called fucking Megadeth to begin with.
Nope.
You know what I
Nope.
mean? And it wasn't for bands like Megadeth, Metallica, Slayer. Thrash metal would have never been put on the scene in the fucking States. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
shut up your fucking ass if you don't like fucking Mustaine or Megadeth, dude, because
Yep.
it's a fucking masterpiece of a band. He's a legendary frontman and fucking guitarist and singer songwriter, dude. And fucking again, it's a big fuck you, and I love the attitude that Mustaine has on this record. The last record that Megadeth puts out, which they're working on right now, if it had the same amount of like old school Mustaine fuck you attitude, I am all fucking for it, dude, because that's Megadeth and Mustaine at his best, dude.
I agree. We touched on it already that this is his comeback album, and I think what a way to come back on this fucking album. And then all these banger of songs.
Yep,
You can't just
agreed.
say "fuck you" to something with like one song. You have to have a whole fucking album, and
Yep.
track after track on this album did just that, and it was a beautiful hate album from Mustaine.
Yes, it was. And I will say too that musically and lyrically, this is probably the heaviest record that Mustaine and Megadeth have put out since probably maybe even fucking Euthanasia, Countdown to
Yeah,
Extinction. Because like Cryptic and Risk were good, but they weren't, you know, thrashy heavy albums. They had thrash
right.
elements to them, certain songs here and there. But from like
Yep,
so far, from start to finish on this record, dude, it's heavy, man. It's in your face and it's go time.
yep. It is, and just moving along. For the sake of time here, track number 9. Truth be told, this was I dug the song, but it's not my most favorite on the album.
I agree completely. Whatever,
Yeah,
100% what you just said, I agree.
yeah, yeah. And then going on track number 10, of Mice and Men. I dig this fucking song.
It's a different song, and I dig it too because it's
Yeah,
so different, and it's different in a good way, not in a bad way.
yeah. Nope, nope. Really enjoyed this fucking song, and
The
then of
progression of
course,
his vocals in this song too is different.
yeah. This is another one of a poppy song on the album,
Yep.
but not as poppy as the Scorpion is.
Right. Agreed. Yeah. If you haven't already heard this album, folks, go out of your way and listen to this song too, and you'll kind of get where we're coming from. That it's different, but in a good way.
Yep. And then of course number 11 is another instrumental song. Pretty sweet little dual guitar on this album, which is just Dave. But and it leads into the last track on the album, My Kingdom, which I'm not a big fan of the song. I think it was a weak closer for this album.
It is a weak closer, and it's so weak that I don't even fucking remember the song.
Yeah, it was like it started off with a riff, and the riff didn't even get started till like 30 seconds in. It was like it was just the same chugging for like 30 seconds, and you're like, I don't know when the song is gonna start. But
I
yeah,
really
that
don't
was
remember the song at all.
it's for me probably the worst song on the album.
Okay, spoilers.
Yes, so that is my worst song on the fucking album. Poor closer, worst song on the album.
You know what? For me, it's either got to be uh, "Tears in a Vial" or this one because I don't even remember this fucking song.
There you go. Best song on the album. What you got?
For me personally, I like Back in the Day a lot. That might be my favorite. If I had to do a close second, um, Blackmail the Universe might be up there too. But
Yeah,
for the sake of argument, I got to go with Back in the Day because it's so fucking fun.
I agree. Back in the Day is also my favorite. Close second would maybe be Die Dead Enough or Kick to Share. but Back in the Day is my favorite as well.
Fucking A.
Hell yeah! Well, we're gonna move on. Skipping ahead 3 years, May 15th, 2007, we have Megadeth coming back to kind of its more thrashy roots with United Abominations. What's your opinion about this album?
So when this album first came out, I was not a fan of this record. It actually took quite a few years for this record to grow on me, and now that I go back and listen to it, I fucking love this record for a lot of different reasons. But when it first came out, I was not a fan. Not ashamed to admit it, was not a fan of it. It grew on me, and when it did finally click with me, I was like, yes, this is a great fucking album.
This album is fucking brilliant. This is kind of his comeback with more political, um, songs.
Yep,
You had kind of a 10-year kind of step away from all that, and then you come back with this album, and it's kind of more of telling about the world more so than just personal.
yep. It's definitely, I mean, come on, dude. Just the title of it alone, United Abominations,
Yep,
should give you everything that you need to know. And the cover of it was like all these fucking missile strikes happening on the fucking UN building and shit. It's like,
yep,
you know what you're getting yourself into on this record just by the album cover, which is not
yeah.
misleading like fucking World Needs a Hero was.
Yep, exactly. You can say that again. Jump right into it. It's, song number one, Sleepwalker. Brilliant fucking song. I think this is one of the first songs that I learned how to play from Megadeth as well, because it's just a fun fucking song to play. It's a fun fucking song to hear, and it's a banger way to start off this album.
And we cannot skip over the fact that this record was Chris Broderick's debut with Megadeth as well. He came over from Nevermore. Brilliant fucking guitarist. For whatever reason, it didn't work out with him and Mustaine. And I believe this is the only record that he appeared on, unless he did Endgame too.
So according to Wikipedia, it was actually Glenn Drover that was on this record, not Broderick.
Glenn Drover was on this record?
Yeah, guitars and backing vocals.
What the fuck? Why do I have Chris Broderick in mind when it comes to this fucking record?
He was definitely on the next one, Endgame, but Glenn Drover was actually on this album.
You know what? You're right. You're right. You're right. I got my timeline mixed up here because of the whole Nevermore thing with that falling out of that band that was going on. You're right. Chris Broderick did
Yep.
come in after which is weird because the style of play on this record is a Chris Broderick style, not a fucking Drover fucking
I
style.
agree.
Like Drover has no business playing this type of shit. Not to take
No.
anything away from Drover. He's a great, good musician, good guitarist, just like
Yep.
his brother's a good drummer.
Yep.
But it's not something that you would come to expect to hear from him and Mustaine play. This is something that a Broderick or fucking Marty Friedman and Mustaine would
Hmm.
play. But sorry, my bad on the whole fucking timeline. But dude,
No, man.
Sleepwalker, dude, Sleepwalker
Yeah.
is a banger of a fucking song. It's a hit to the fucking nutsack right off the bat.
Yep. Yep. And looking at the length, I didn't even realize that it's just shy of 6 minutes, and it doesn't even feel like that long of a song.
It doesn't, but I will tell you, if you go back and listen to it now, it is kind of repetitive.
Mm.
Especially
Mm.
the choruses, it is a really repetitive song,
Yeah.
but it's a good enough song to where it doesn't like beat you over the head that it is too repetitive, but
No.
it's definitely in there.
And then going right down to track number two, Washington is Next. What a fucking in your face song that was.
Yep, just throw it in your fucking asshole and like it.
Yep. Yep. From the title itself.
That's a clip right there. Throw it in your fucking asshole and like it. Fuck yeah, stay heavy. Clip that shit.
They're gonna like that one.
I don't give a fuck.
And then moving on to track three, Never Walk Alone, A Call to Arms. What do you think about this song?
I love this fucking song, dude.
Yeah.
It's almost like an anthology type song, dude, where it's like
Yeah.
fucking, you're in an arena and the fucking song comes on, dude, and it just hits you, bro. It's like the great fucking guitar driven fucking riff, dude, and there's like the fucking lyrics just flow over it, dude.
Yep.
Very well done, in my opinion.
I agree. And then number four, right after that one, United Abominations. I mean, can't get any more obvious than this song, right?
Nope, you can't. And it makes perfect fucking sense, dude. And 1, 2, 3, 4 so far into this album, dude, and every song's a banger.
Yep. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then right after that, song number five, Gears of War, which is another fucking banger. I love that fucking song too.
Yep, and it was inspired by the fucking video game Gears of War, and fucking it was used in the promotional videos for Gears of War. It's a fun song. I don't know if I would go out of my way to find this song. It's good, but it's not one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's definitely this is another song of mine that I learned to play, and it is a very fucking fun song. Probably more fun to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a fun fuck song. Moving on to track number 6, "Blessed Are the Dead." What do you think about this one? Do you like this one?
It's different
Yeah,
than what we've heard so far on the record. It's okay, and again, just like Gears of War, it's not one that I would like go out of my way to find. But if it's
yep,
on, I might leave it on.
right, right. I think it's a good placement song, number
Yes,
6, and
absolutely.
then followed by that, "Play for Blood," track number 7. For me, I feel the same.
Yep, same way. I think after you get past Gears of War, the album starts to lose a little bit of its luster until you
Yeah,
get into like the last two tracks.
yep, yep. The next song, "Tu Lamone," is, of course, from the Euthanasia album. They did it again with Christina. How do you say that? Scabia.
Scabia, yeah, from
Yeah.
Lacuna Coil.
I didn't care about that song.
I mean, it's just a reworking of the same fucking song, just with Christina on backing vocals. It's whatever.
Yeah,
I know it was a dream come true for her to do a collaboration with Mustaine, so that was cool.
yeah, yeah. And then right after that, we get into our last 3 songs on the album. Track number 9, "America Stan."
That's fucking hilarious, dude. It's like, what do you mean by that, Dave? Well, listen to the fucking
Yep,
song. You know what I mean?
yep. That's
But
obvious
it's
too.
fucking hilarious, though. I really dig it.
I think the last album we talked about, it was more of a personal hate album. This is a different kind of hate album that he
This is
told.
fucking I hate fucking politics and I'm sick of it album,
Yep. And track number 10, "You're Dead."
which people might
Self-explanatory.
fucking make confused with the shirt that I'm wearing too.
Exactly. And then we finish it off with, of course, "Burnt Ice," where it starts off with Mustaine coughing.
He's just ripped a fucking hit off the bong, bro.
I don't think he does that anymore, man.
What do you think of
Um,
the last three songs on this record?
I thought they weren't anything like super special, but I think it fit this album.
It fit the album. I agree. They weren't anything special. They're not memorable, so to speak.
No,
They're not terrible, but they're not memorable, which is kind of sucks because again, you want to open and close an album with banger songs, and I don't think
yeah,
Burnt Ice really did that.
no, 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 not at all. But I do want to say that I think every song on this album is fun to listen to. I don't think there's necessarily a bad song. If I had to pick my worst song, it would probably be either "Tu Lamone," just because I didn't care about the remix of that song, or maybe like throw like "Blessed or the Dead" in there.
I agree. There's really not a skippable song on this record. There's obviously ones that I favor more than the others, but to like
Yeah.
skip it just because I fucking hate it is I don't have a song on here on this record that
Yep.
does that. But I agree. For me, it's either got to be "Blessed or the Dead" or "Play for Blood," are just
Hmm.
like two throwaway songs that just kind of get lost in the shuffle for me on this one.
Yep.
Favorite song on the record?
I probably have to go with "Sleepwalker."
Sleepwalker. That's a good one. For me, it's either got to be United Abominations or Never Walk Alone, and I would
Okay.
probably have to go with fucking United Abominations.
Yeah. Yeah. Self-titled song.
Great fucking
Perfect.
record though.
Perfect record. Yeah. Yeah. This record was definitely one that gets lost in the shuffle as well.
It does. Yeah, just like Euthanasia doesn't get any love
Yep.
ever.
Oh, well, we go on to our final album of the 2000s of Megadeth, which is Endgame, came out in September 15th, 2009. And before we get into it, I want to say I have a real personal love for this fucking album. I love this. This album was the first time I saw Megadeth, they toured with this album. And just seeing them for the first time and having this album kind of start off that fucking show, for me personally, I fucking dig it a lot. And there's some very notable songs for me on this album because this is also the same time that I started playing as well. Around 2009 is when I started learning how to play. And I picked a handful of songs on this album to learn. So it's more personal to me. What
Isn't
about
this
you?
right up there with Countdown as your favorite Megadeth record?
I would throw it like top 5. Yeah.
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 So the first time you saw Megadeth, you said they toured this record. Is that the show that you went to with me
Yep. It was with Warbringer that opened up for him.
at the House of Blues
Yep.
in Vegas?
Yep.
I completely forget about that show sometimes, dude, because it's like, dude, Megadeth in such
Yep.
an intimate setting like House of Blues.
I know.
Fucking
I know.
awesome, though.
2009. Yep.
I can't believe Warbringer opened that show. Was there
They
anybody
did.
else on that tour?
Nobody notable. No, I think somebody's fucking son opened up before Warbringer. I don't know if it was like Drover's son or something. Somebody opened up for them, but it was nobody like famous.
That's interesting. I'm gonna have to go do a fucking internet research on that show and see what the set
Yeah.
list was for that show. Because I remember being there, and I remember that big fat googly eyed motherfucker at the end of it too,
Yep.
fucking barreling his way through and shit. And I chased his out in the parking lot. I remember that part, but I was like, as far as the show goes, um, I don't remember it to a T of like what songs were played or whatnot. But that's
Yeah.
interesting, man. That was your first
Yeah.
time seeing Megadeth.
Yeah. So this album definitely is in my heart a little bit. Well, what about you? What's your overall thoughts on this album?
When this album first came out, I was not a huge fan of it. It was almost like United Abominations, where it had to kind of grow on me, and it was only because I felt like there was too much. What's the right even like way to say it? That there was just too much. Is this album was too busy, and the
Hmm.
fact that it was just a lot of shit going on and all these different songs, but it's like it wasn't cohesive enough to keep it running. You know what I mean? If that makes sense,
Yeah.
to where it's like, okay, United Abominations, every song was a fucking banger. It had its
Yeah.
purpose, it had its riffs, it had its chorus, boom, we're out. This one was kind of
Yep.
like, we're jumping all over the place. We're doing different riffs here, different riffs there, which
Yeah.
isn't a bad thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying,
Right.
for me personally, it was kind of a hard album to get into at first. I
Yeah.
had to kind of grow into it. And even now, going back to today, listen to this album, it's kind of hard for me to like really like get immersed into it.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. I think overall, this album, the solos on this album really stand out more than a lot of the main riffs. I think, of course, this is the first album with Broderick now, and Broderick and fucking Dave's like the way they blend together, I think sounded really great in their solos.
Back in a past life, the song Endgame I would play as an opener from my podcast way back in the day. I think that as far as the early 2000s go, Megadeth era, I think this is probably the heaviest record they put out.
Yes, this was very much a thrashy, and in some songs, it kind of even led to more of a speed metal type
Yeah,
riff. So if we start off with track one, which is just a instrumental dialectic chaos, I don't
this
think
sets the
Magus,
tone.
yeah, Magus never start off an album with the instrumental, right?
Nope, not to my knowledge, and this set the
No.
tone for the way the rest of the records would go. And I think this is a lot of influence that Chris Broderick brought to the band at this time too, because this was his
Yeah.
dialectic chaos is what he was playing in fucking Nevermore. Like that's the style, you know
Hmm.
what I mean? And you didn't hear
Yep.
that before so much in Megadeth as you did here.
No, that's what I mean. It was fast. Like these solos were fucking fast, man. And starting off the album with this, and this is also the song that they started off the tour with.
Yep.
When he saw him live, they started this, and then of course it leads into track number two, "This Day We Fight," which is just another fucking fast banger song, dude.
Yeah, I agree.
Thrashy.
Yep, this day we fight just makes you want to get up and fight too. And before we go on, can I just give some love to Chris Broderick? Because I don't know if there's ever another time that we're going to talk about Broderick, but
Yes.
for the love of God, people, if you haven't heard the band Nevermore, experience World Dane's vocals, either Nevermore or Sanctuary, but more importantly, focus on topic here, Nevermore, please go out of your way and listen to fucking Nevermore. They are very, very underrated, man. Very fucking solid metal band. Rest in peace, World Dane. Love me some Chris Broderick. Love me some fucking Nevermore. But yeah, this day we fight, dude. Fucking punch to the gut in a good way.
Yep. Back to back, fucking one and two, and he leads to track number three with 44 minutes, which is it slows it down a bit and it brings in more of the melodic style of Megadeth, and
Yep.
I fucking love this song, dude.
This is a good pairing of Mustaine and Broderick on guitars because you can hear the dueling ways that each guitarist like plays their own
Yep.
style and like fits it into Megadeth's like what it is, you know.
Right. Yep. I agree. And then, I think for you, I'm just gonna put words in your fucking mouth. I think track four, five, and six, I think that's where it loses you, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
100%. Yep, it's kind of
Yep.
all over the place.
Yeah, track number four is 1320. The lyrics are whatever, but the main riff is a fast riff, and I think that got me hooked on this song, just the opening riff. But yeah,
Hmm.
it's not anything special. It's definitely a track four filler song, but I
Yep.
dug this song.
4, 5, and 6. If you were to put a gun to my head and make me like hum the riff, I couldn't do it. I can't. I
Yeah,
don't remember the riffs to them.
yeah. Track number five, Bite the Hand. I think that if you had to go back listen to a song and just because of the solo, go back and listen to track number five, Bite the Hand, and listen to the solo because the solo on that song is very underrated, and it kind of is underwhelming because of this song of a whole. But yeah, the solo of that song is pretty fucking sweet.
I'll go back and listen to it for sure.
And of course, number 6, Bodies. This is probably
Is it that "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor" song?
no, you know what? I think that was a different band, Nick.
Oh, it was. My
Yeah,
bad.
no,
My
it's
bad,
okay.
dude. So it
Um,
wasn't "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor." Let the bodies hit the floor. No, different band.
so we're on a Megadeth series. No,
Oh, my
yeah,
bad, dude. We're still talking about Megadeth. My bad, dude. Sorry. You just
yeah.
said bodies. I'm like, let the bodies hit the floor.
No, wrong band, wrong time, just wrong fucking everything. I don't know what the fuck you're talking
Gotcha,
about.
dude. And to the audience out there, it was a fucking joke, you fucking purist. Okay, get over yourself. Anyway, continue.
More hate. All right.
Fuck them.
We're moving on to track number 7, which you have mentioned, titled Endgame, which is the title track of the record. And I think this is a very, very political fucking song,
Yep.
and probably the only political song on, well, maybe second political song on this album.
If you go and listen to the first 30, 45 seconds of the song of just Dave Mustaine talking, you're like, holy shit, what is this man talking about? But
Yeah.
without going off on a tangent, if you were to listen to what he was talking about and go in and doing some research, you'd be like, holy fuck, I was in the dark on this the whole fucking time.
Yep.
This is
And
probably my favorite song on the record.
yeah, I mean, this song is another make it a classic where it splits into two different songs.
Yep.
It's kind of like a Holy Wars feel
Yes.
of it. It kind of goes off to a different song completely, and you're like, well, fuck it, it still works because it kind of sounds like the other part, but it's a completely different fucking part.
Would you agree that the second half of this song might be better than the first half?
Yeah, I think the first half definitely gets you prepared for the second half
Yep.
of
And
this
the
fucking
second half,
song.
once it takes over, it's almost like fucking Holy Wars was like the second half of the song, like really takes over for the song in its entirety. You know what I mean?
Yep, yep. I say it's a beautiful fucking song, and I think this song does not give it does not get enough credit at all,
No,
at
this
all.
is a song that should be played live still today.
Yep, yep.
I can
I
see this
mean,
song opening up a show.
that's what I was about to say. I think this is a great fucking opener. Like the first, 40 minutes to a minute with, him just talking. It would be great for them just to walk out on fucking stage at that
Yep.
time, you know?
Yep. Imagine having the fucking visuals behind him on a big ass fucking LED board. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The visuals of what he's talking about, and then the lights fucking go out, and as soon as they come back on, fucking it's them just fucking getting down to the song. That'd be sick.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, this song is very, very fucking well put together. And then go on to track number 8, The Hardest Part of Letting Go, Sealed with a Kiss. It is exactly what it is titled. Very slow song. It's the slowest song on the record, and I don't really care much for this song.
I don't even remember this song.
It is acoustic, and it's not a very memorable song. I don't think you need to go back and listen to the song.
No, I agree.
And then right after that, it goes into the beast of a fucking song, track number 9, Head Crusher.
So this kind of leads me back to our running theme of the radio singles that were put out, and how you were talking mad shit on like Crush 'em and fucking
Mm-hmm.
Motorcycle and all that. I feel as if Head Crusher could be in that same conversation with fucking Motorcycle and Crush 'em, only for the fact that it's a good song. It's a obviously it's a radio song, radio friendly song, but I'm surprised you like this song, but you shit on those other songs. To be honest with you,
Well, this song is completely faster than all the other songs.
agreed. But I mean, as far as like the song on the record goes, you could
Yeah,
definitely tell which one they picked for the radio single. And this might even be written on the album to just be a radio single. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Um, I don't mind the song. It's not one of my favorites as far as like the radio songs that they did put out off these last few records.
yeah.
But I mean, it's not bad. I don't have anything bad to
Right.
say about it. It's just it is what it is.
I think the lyrical part of it, like I said in previous episodes, I don't give a fuck for fucking lyrics at all. So if you take the lyrics out of the song, I think this song is a pretty good thrashy fucking song.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. 100%.
And then moving on to track 10, How the Story Ends. This song is probably, in my opinion, the most poppy song on the album, and
I would agree.
I dig it. I dig
I
the
dig
song
it
a
too,
lot.
and I agree with you 100% that it is the most poppiest one on the record. Um, I could take it or leave it, to be honest with you. But
Yeah,
I mean, it's not a bad song.
no, not at all. Leads us to the last track on the album, "The Right to Go Insane," which I think is the perfect way to end this album.
I agree. Yep. It listening to this album will definitely make you go insane in a good way,
Yep.
and I think it is the perfect fitting end song to this Endgame album.
Yeah, that opening bass riff really sold you on the song. Kind of gave of like a Peace Sells vibe, you know. I
Yep.
think a lot of these songs kind of did give you like, oh, this song reminds me of a different song of theirs back in the day.
I agree. Yeah, there was definitely some elements to this album that would kind of like harken back to the old days, and then kind of like lead
Yep,
you to like what's to come for Megadeth in the future as well.
I agree. What's your overall opinion before we close out this episode of the 2000s of Megadeth?
Definitely a different decade for the band. Trials and tribulations having to do with Mustaine, the original members leaving the band, him pretty much doing a solo piece until Ellefson comes back in the fold in the very next album after this one. Um, but it was good. Good decade for Megadeth. Some hits, a lot of misses, to be honest with you. But
Yeah.
overall, it was nice to see Mustaine come back from the challenge of having issues with his hand and being able to play guitar again and to bring Megadeth back from the dead that everybody just wanted to be dead and gone already. So fuck all you haters.
What's your favorite album from this decade?
Uh, I would probably have to say, oh fuck, man, I might get a lot of heat for this, but I might have to say System Has Failed. It'd be System Has Failed, and it'd be like a 1A, 1B. System Has Failed and United Abominations.
Okay, okay. I have to agree with you. System S Failed is my favorite from this decade.
Interesting. Okay,
Yep.
well, we might get shit on by everybody then for having our same opinion on that one.
What's the weakest album
World
from this
Needs a
decade?
Hero, I think,
Yeah,
is
I
definitely
agree.
the weakest album of the 2000s.
Yep.
It the album cover was misleading. It should have been something different. I think it was a
Yep.
big letdown, and yeah, I think it was the weakest album of the 2000s.
What's your favorite album cover from this decade?
Album cover would probably be System Has Failed, just because of like not System Has Failed. Sorry, World Needs a Hero, because of like the horror that it was at the time. Oh my god, there's blood and guts everywhere.
Mm,
And they had to censor the album too, the album cover. I think that might be the first and only time that Megadeth has been in scrutiny over an album cover where they had to censor the album cover. To be honest with you,
yep, I agree.
um, I think a close second would either be System Has Failed or United Abominations, just because of the whole political meanings behind the cover art.
Yeah.
But that's probably my pick. What about you?
System S Failed is my favorite.
Okay,
Yeah, I
good
think
pick.
the way that Vic is kind of looking at the camera, you know, it's kind of eerie, and then you have all the presidents coming up.
Yep, agreed.
Pretty sick.
I
Pretty
like it
sick.
too. I dig it a lot.
But yeah, man, we've done the 80s now, we've done the 90s, we've done the 2000s. So we have one more episode of this Mega series.
Yep, we're talking about the 2010s with Megadeth now, and leading up to the last album they put out, "The Sick, the Dead, and the Dying," and leading us up to the album that has not been released yet, which is their last and final album of Megadeth's history. Bittersweet, sad to see him go, but thank you, Dave, for all the memories. Thank you for the music. Thank you for the band. And I can't wait to talk about the last few albums here of Megadeth's career in the late 2000s, man, the 2010s. That should be a fun one, especially with 13 kicking us off.
Yeah, I think it kicks off well, and then it ends well as well.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Can't
Well, you
wait.
know, thank you all for tuning in. Please follow us on X. Please follow us on Instagram at Riffsnrasslin. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You have to subscribe. We love it if you would subscribe. But yeah, and stay tuned for the final episode of the Megadeth series, part 4, which we'll be covering. And we should be doing that pretty soon, huh, Nick?
Yep, agreed. Yeah, please, everybody out there that you listen to this, man. If you watch the shorts, listen and watch the whole fucking video, please, man. You get a lot of fun insight here from the two of us and joking around and shit. Like, let the bodies hit the floor. But we do a lot of bullshit around here, and we enjoy ourselves. And hopefully, you guys are enjoying the show too. But yeah, hit that subscribe button, comment below, let us know how we're doing. Do you want to hear something different, a topic covered in the future, whatever the fuck? Let us know in the comments. Much appreciated. But yeah, man, can't wait. Last
Can't
episode of
wait.
Megadeth, dude, already.
Sounds good, man. Well, without further ado, pleasure talking to you, man.
Yes, sir. Peace out, peeps.
Peace.